Hey guys, Mike Killimett here, and sitting here with Brent Abernathy. How you doing, Brent?
Good, man. Couldn't be any better.
Awesome, awesome. So, guys, we're going to take the next 15, 20 minutes and just I'm going to ask Brent some questions, and hopefully this help you guys. It's Brent has been with me since day one. We've been together as partners and business partners for 9 years now. Brent, can you just share a little bit, maybe how when you saw this business for the first time, what you thought of it, and maybe help a new person as they're getting going, what they can kind of, what they can expect to happen, and what's going to happen, and what could happen if they do the right things.
Yeah. It's. First of all, when I saw the business for the first time, I love the business plan and the business model and the structure of the business. To be honest with you, I didn't believe that this was something I would ever be doing, though. I didn't. I knew it was easy, but I wasn't any good at it right away. I sucked, and it was really bad. But I didn't. I just went out and got in front of a bunch of people. Called some other people that were learning in the field at the same time as I was, and looked up, what are we, 9 years in, and we're doing 2.1 million. It was, but I never saw. I believed in you. I believed in the business plan. I guess the easiest way to say it is I believed in you and believed in the business plan, the model, and the structure a lot more than I believed in myself early on in this business. That makes sense?
Yeah. What did explain to them a little bit what you did before this, before you got an insurance? You're a lifetime insurance guy?
No, I played professional baseball for 13 years, and that's all I knew. And I didn't know, was not good at communicating with people. Heck, half the people I spent my year with didn't even speak English,
That's true.
So
I think I had to set your email up, and I'm not technical at all, but I think I had to set your email up to get this thing going. I'm like, we're in trouble if I'm helping him with technology, because I'm technically challenged. When you say you weren't good at this, what helped you get through those things? Because nobody's really good at this right when they first start. Now we have agents that now, because we talk about it so much about the numbers and the activity, because you can have very good activity and the numbers will look like you're good at it, right? It's like, God, like Grayson, the guy worked at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. He's sold 46,000 last month, but he outworks everybody in our group. It's not like he's an experienced insurance salesman. So kind of what helped you understand, hey, I got to figure this thing out, because you and I both were the same way. We saw other people doing it and like, what the heck are we doing? How come it's not? It's because you and I are running 8 to 9 appointments a week, and that doesn't work. So, but what's your thoughts on how a new person or someone can overcome the thought of, maybe I can't do this? Because I think anybody can do this.
Right, absolutely.
So what's your thoughts on that?
The first thing is I would take work ethic over skill every day of the week. I think that goes a long way. But I look back, and it was massive for me. Like, I chased knowledge in the business. I would get up at 2:30 every Wednesday morning. I live in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, which is Central Time Zone. I get up at 2:30 every Wednesday morning, drive 5.5 hours to Atlanta, which is where we were having our sales training and it was like every Wednesday for the full day. So I get up at 2:30, drive 5.5 hours, get training in Atlanta, and then I'd jump in my car at 10 o'clock Wednesday night and drive 5.5 hours back home, all in the same day, every single week, every Wednesday. I remember times where, you and I were on conference calls until, 12 and 1 o'clock in the morning, which is absolutely crazy. And of course, we'd never do that now, but, or have calls at that time now, I guess. But, dude, I didn't miss anything. I just got around people who had a better understanding of what to do and how to make it work. But I looked forward to the learning. I think that's a big deal. I think sometimes maybe people might be on calls or be at trainings or whatever, and they might not be quite as actively listening, and I really craved getting better. And I think without that, it would have been a struggle.
Right. No, you're spot on there. It's a thing. Even today, as you mentioned, you guys did over 2 million last month, which is phenomenal. Because what did you do? So you've been with Family First Life with me since we started. What did your agency do that first whole year? 2014, I believe it was.
The entire year we paid, I think like $850,000 for the entire year in 2014. And I mean, I can think of it. I remember January.
The whole year.
That was the whole year.
We just did that this week. I just got the numbers. That's crazy. God.
January of 2014, my agency paid $56,000, and we just paid $2.1 million in a month.
Yeah, that's it's been a fun ride. Let's kind of fast forward a little bit. So how is this business? I know, but share with them, because some of you might not know or do know, he's my brother-in-law. He's married to my sister, so he kind of gets it on both ends. It's kind of don't feel sorry for him, but he never let up on him. But it's a thing. How has y'all's lives changed? I mean, I know you guys just built a new house, but share some of those things. I know my girls get to play with your girls, and they just think differently. Mm-hmm. But how has that been over the last 5 years? And just kind of share with them a little bit about what you've been able to do and with the money you're making and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, I think the money is obviously great, and we're doing a lot of things helping other agents, and been able to, like you said, build a new house. And my kids think differently. They I just want them to grow up and live a different lifestyle than I did, But dude, I'll be honest with you, I look back when we first started in this business, and I was not in a good place with my life in general, if that makes any sense. It's, I was a former athlete that's all I knew. And then when I retired, or I guess was forced to retire with a knee injury, I was kind of lost. I was trying to find a purpose in life, for 13 years, or really my whole life. There was a purpose, and I knew what it was, and it was playing ball, and I enjoyed every minute of it or whatever. But as soon as that was gone, I didn't really have a purpose. I mean, I know it was probably, it was probably a year or two. So I was laid up trying to rehab my knee that I had tore up. I had to reteach myself how to walk again, all that stuff. And I lost a sense of purpose. And so getting back into this business and not being good at it or not understanding it right away was a struggle as well. But when I realized that now that this business affords you the opportunity not only to go out and make a lot of money, and help your family, but it also, the purpose now is it's about helping other people. It's about teaching others how easy this business is and helping them change their families' lives. And so, again, the money and all that stuff is great and what we've been able to do, but it's really just given me a sense of purpose again, which I lost for a couple of years, quite frankly.
Yeah. You know what's, and you can understand this better than probably anybody. And I was talking to Andrew Taylor about this. We don't realize, he was asking about offices, like, hey, when should they get an office? When you think your agents should open their own office or whatever? And I said, I think people don't understand the camaraderie of a locker room, like of athletes that, because we have a ton of athletes in our agency, and matter of fact, if you look at almost all my managers, I think played sports and in high school or at a higher level. And but there's also, think about how many men or women sitting around in a workplace or in a cube or in a corner office that miss the camaraderie of, because we're a very competitive group too, but we also like to have fun. We poke fun. I mean, it's like being in a locker room again. Mm-hmm. I'm like, we do stuff like that, and I know we enjoy working together. Like it's a when you can enjoy going and do what you do and helping people. I think that changes a lot too. Not only the money we all make, man, the money is it's. I'm like I want to pinch myself somewhere. I'm like, it's crazy good, but it's also I enjoy doing what we do. Like I live in Atlanta, and I can. Some days I'm going to the office and I'm just next to a guy in like a Maserati, and he just like he's ready to kill himself. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now he's got all this money, and I'm sitting over there in my car going, God, why is he so upset? I think, because he's going to an office, and he's probably not going to get off till it gets dark. Mm-hmm. Whereas if something happens, I can leave because of what we've been able to do as a team and a group. But so that I think that's important to know if you're listening to this and you're looking for that. Family First Life is the place for that, and we are. Hey, now we're competitive. If you don't have thick skin, it's not but we're competitive for a reason. What do you think, Brent? Where do you see where do you see your agency going in the next? I know you guys will probably do over $25 million this year, roughly on pace to do that. Where do you see 5 years from now? What do you think about what your agency can be doing and the lives you can be changing, the people you can be helping?
Yeah, well, I mean, and we'll hit 30 million this year.
30 million? Yeah. That's good, because my goal is 50, so we need you to do at least 25 of it.
Man, it's funny. I was talking to a couple agents just a couple days ago about that and how I look back, 5 years ago and how my vision and goals and things have changed. At that point in time, it was just about, making money and trying to get up off the ground and pay the bills and things like that. But now it's like it's stretching agents' visions of how quickly and what can happen, and 5 years from now, I mean, I don't want to put a number on it, to be honest with you, because I think I know with the leadership, the team that we have here, and some of the things that that corporate's doing and things like that, and what we've done in 5 years, I mean, the whole industry is changing the whole industry. Mm-hmm. Probably 99.9% of the people in our business 5 years ago would have said, there's no way that group's going to do $250 million worth of business in 2019, and the reality of it is that 0.1% was all in the same room together and all on the same team. We all believed it. So I believe that whatever it is that we set our minds to do, we can accomplish. My main focus right now is just helping as many people, get to that $300,000 a month agency, that $500,000.
What does that look like? When do you think so we didn't hire staff quick enough, right? So when do you think someone should? Like when?
I think they should. I think they should right away. Once they are writing, $20,000 to $30,000 worth of insurance in a month, issue paying, I think they should hire staff. Why? Because the staff can be following up on pending, if it is paper, companies that are doing paper apps, whatever, the staff can be hiring people, running ads, things like that. And that way the agent can be out in the field making money. See, our issue when we first started was, like you said earlier, we were running 8 or 9 appointments a week. And so we didn't have the money. We weren't selling the insurance. We didn't have the money to hire staff right away. But to me right now, having a staff and paying somebody $10, $12 an hour is making you so much more money because you can be out in the field making $1,000 a pop, very quickly.
Yeah.
Selling insurance.
Yeah, I think you have to, and I was guilty as charged on doing $10 an hour work for too long, and it's a thing. How can you help? Because you had never had a business before. We talked about you'd been in baseball your whole life basically, and then you got into this. So there's a lot of people out there like that. They're going to listen to this. How can you help them? Because we'll wrap up with this. How can you help them understand the business mindset of, hey, it's going to cost money.
Yep.
Like you're going to invest money over here in this agent or on this ad, and it's not going to work.
Yep.
So how can you make them understand, hey, it's okay because you still have. So if you invest $1,000 here and it doesn't work, you still cannot not invest $1,000 the next week or the next month or whatever. Kind of how did that look for you on understanding that and getting over that? Because we've had these conversations throughout the years in the business, and I was lucky enough to be in business before. I'm a little older, and wasn't as good at baseball as you, so I didn't play as long. Play even half as long. So I had businesses before, and I understood it right away. So it was not hard for me. So I'm not a good one. Like I'm not your guy when it comes to why don't you invest $1,000? I think that's crazy. But you did. You're like, that's crazy, Mike. I've never, because you didn't have to buy the baseballs.
Right.
You know what I mean? You didn't have to buy the peanuts. You didn't. They gave you spikes. They gave you glasses. They gave you gloves. They gave you all of it.
Yep.
And then you come in this business, and I'm like, dude, you got to buy leads. You're like, huh? I'm like, yeah, like Oakley's not going to buy these leads for you. Right. So help someone out that is that way, either out of college or been a corporate employee their whole life, and they've tired of being someone else's what. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And a couple of things on that. I know when that turned around for me. It took a lot longer than it should have, but I remember 4.5, 5 years ago, and it really was all of it. It was me, you, Drew, Wetmore. We all at the same time pretty much just said, give us as many flipping leads as we can get. We don't care where they're at. We don't care how far away they are or anything. And we just freaking went to work and went. It only took like 1 month of seeing, holy cow, as long as I've got the money invested in the inventory, the return comes, and so, but yes, I didn't understand that early on. I was trying to make $1 million by spending nothing, in my mind. It was like, and it doesn't work. But once I finally realized, and I try to relate as much as I can in this business to baseball. That's what I get. That's what I've known, my whole life. That's what I understand, So it's almost like the analogy, like if I were to, as a professional athlete, if I go to the batting cage every single day before a game, right, to get my swing, to make everything habit, so now when I step in the box and face 97 miles an hour, right? Well, listen, if it's a Monday and I'm going in there in the cage and I go to the game and I go 0 for 4 that game, that doesn't mean I ain't going to the cage the next day. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go to the cage the next day, and I'm going to go out again. I'm just as liable to go 3 for 4 the next day. You know what I mean? It's like I just related it. You can look at it as far as working out. Guess what? If I don't go in the gym and work out as a professional athlete, I got 0 chance of success over the long term in the game. I just do. You're going to get worn out. You're going to get beat up. So it's like in this business, if you're not investing in yourself, if you're not investing in leads, if you're not investing in staff, if you're not investing in an office space, if you're not investing time into your business, you ain't going to get the returns. Just like you wouldn't. I mean, it's like, how am I going to, all of a sudden start looking like an Adonis or Sean Ruggiero or whatever you want to call it if I don't go in the weight room and work out. I mean, it's the way the business works, the way any business works. I know you ran your own, restaurants and stuff, so you understood it. But when I started thinking of this business in terms of what I understand and get, that's when it started making sense to me.
Cool. Well, man, I appreciate you. Appreciate everything you do for us, and I'm glad you are in business with me. And guys, I hope this helps. Anybody can do this. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of you putting your mind and your energy and your time into it. And then the whole thing is, the only time you will fail here is if you quit. And just don't give up. So appreciate you. Hope it helps. Later, guys.